Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Monday evening. Hope you've had a lovely weekend and you're looking forward to a nice weekend ahead. Today's practice week ahead. I'm ahead of myself. Today's practice focuses quite a bit on the lower back and the hamstrings. So hopefully if you've got any back issues, you'll find this a really nice easing practice. And our theme today is let go. So let us try to, throughout the practice, just be aware of where we're holding tension in our bodies and release it and let it go throughout the practice. As always, listen to your body and only do what feels right for you today. So let us begin by lying down. Making yourself nice and comfortable on your mat as you just relax the body, letting go any tension. Letting go everything that's going on in your world. And just bringing yourself to the mat. Being in the present moment. And to help our journey into the present moment, let's just focus in on our senses. On our sense of hearing. Noticing all of the sounds around you. Letting them float through you. Noticing how some sounds come emerging from silence and then receding back into silence once again. And then let your attention go to your sense of smell as you conjure up in your mind your favorite scent. Inhaling that scent to fill your body. And then letting that attention go to your sense of sight. Just noticing the back of your eyelids, the screen that's presented to you there. Let your full attention rest on that screen. And then let the attention go to your sense of touch. Just let your thumb and forefinger meet on both hands. Notice that sensation, how it feels. And now allow your attention to go to your breath, inhaling through your nose, filling your belly, pause, and then exhaling through your nose. And on your next exhale, draw your pelvic floor up as you exhale. Then placing your hands just around your navel area. Once again, on your next exhale, draw up the pelvic floor and notice how that affects your core. And on your next exhale, as you draw up your pelvic floor, draw the belly button in and up. And finally, on your next exhale, draw up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up, and draw the sides of the waist in so that your core is really engaged in the process, and you'll feel that engagement with your hands. And throughout the practice, we'll keep on drawing on the breath to engage the core. Then letting the hands come down by your sides. Do a quick scan of your body to just notice anywhere that you may be holding tension. Notice your jaw, your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and let go all of that tension. Taking 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, bending your knees, rolling over onto your side, and make your way into a child's pose. So the feet straight out behind you. If you find that very uncomfortable at this stage of the practice, open the knees out wide. You might find that a little bit easier. And you can put one fist on top of the other. So whatever form of child's pose you find that works best for you, bring yourself into it. Scan the body and let go any tension. Feeling like you're blowing away the tension with each exhale. One more breath here. And then drawing yourself up to sit. Bring the legs out in front of you. And with your left leg, just crossing it over the right so that your left knee is over your right leg. And draw the foot back so that your left shin is parallel to the top of the mat in a nice straight line. Flexing both feet, sitting up tall, release any tension, but engage the core. 2 more breaths here. And from here, we're going to fold forward. So you want to hinge at your hips, just work with your body in how deep you can make that fold. As you just hinge at the hips, keeping the spine long. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Both feet flexed. And drawing yourself back up to sit. Bend this right knee so the foot comes onto the mat. Draw the left leg across so it's your ankle is just proud of that thigh. You can turn the hands, the fingers to point away and raise the gaze. Pushing this left knee away from you as we take 3 breaths here. Each exhale, letting go tension, but also helping to engage the core. And once again, sitting upright, let the right leg come out long and the left leg come out long. And then let's cross that right foot, our right leg over the left leg. Again, we have our knees on top of each other, the right knee on top of the left knee, sitting up tall to start with, releasing all tension, letting go your shoulders, letting go your jaw. One more breath here. And then folding forward, keeping those feet flexed. And taking 3 more breaths here. And making your way back up to sit once again. On this side, turning the hands so the fingers point away, bending that left knee, just drawing the right leg back a little so it's just the ankle that's proud of it, and encouraging that right knee to move away from the body as you raise your gaze. Taking 3 more breaths. And then letting that right leg come down, lowering the back down onto the mat and crossing the left leg over the right to just change the dynamic of that last pose. We're going to lift up that right leg, and if you're able to clasp the back of your thigh, do. Flexing both feet. And we'll take 6 breaths here. With each exhale, drawing that right knee in just a little bit, keeping a softness in the shoulders and in the jaw. Encouraging that core engagement. breathing out any tension. One more breath here. And letting the right foot down as we take that over to the other side. So crossing the right over the left and then raising up that left leg, clasping behind the thigh if you can. Let go the shoulders, let go the jaw. Engage the core. One more breath here. And releasing the leg down, this time with that right leg, cross it on over the left leg. Do a double cross if your limbs will allow. If not, just a single cross is fine. And let's just let the knees fall down to the left as you open your arms out into a T and adjust the upper body, turning your gaze to the right. We're staying a little longer in our poses today to just really help to stretch out those muscles. Noticing any tension that starts to creep back in and let it go. Keeping your focus on your breath as the pose does its work. Two more breaths here. Unravel the legs, bringing yourself back to the center as we just take that to the other side. So crossing the left leg over the right, wrapping it on around if that works for you. Let the legs come over so the knees come in contact or close to the right side, bringing the arms into a T and turning your gaze to the left. Letting yourself go with the pose. Taking 3 more breaths here. And releasing the legs, bringing yourself back to the center, arms down by your side, and lifting both feet up. We're just going to begin to cycle those legs. And keeping that cycling movement going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hugging the knees into the chest. Take a little bit of movement here, massaging the back of your body. And then letting those feet come down onto the mat, rolling over onto your side and coming up to sit. And we're going to sit in our cow face. So again, work with your body and what works for it. We want to, let's have that left leg out nice and long to start with. The right leg, having it parallel to the top of the mat, the shin. And now we're going to draw this left leg back so that the feet are in line with each other, sitting up nice and tall. We're only going to worry about the legs, so we won't worry about the arms at this point, but feeling that right seat bone have a light connection with the mat. So you're not totally lopsided onto the left seat bone. Sitting up tall, you're not going to have equal weight on both seat bones, but just see, can you keep a connection with the right seat bone? Two more breaths. And releasing the legs out. Let's take that to the other side. So crossing the left leg over the right this time, and then drawing the right foot across. You'll feel the weight now shift into that right seat bone. Try it as much as possible to have one knee over the other, and just getting a little bit of connection with that left seat bone and the mat. Releasing the shoulders, letting go the jaw, feeling that length in your spine. This pose really helps to give you beautiful alignment in the spine. Hopefully you can feel it. Two more breaths here. And releasing the legs out and just let them go from side to side. And from here, let's bring ourselves into tabletop with your shoulders over your wrists, your knees hip width apart and your hips over your knees, gazing down. Taking 3 breaths here, and again remembering to engage that core with each exhale. Letting go any tension in the shoulders, in the jaw, anywhere else you're holding it. And from here, let's come down onto your forearms. And then let the arms stretch on out in front of you as you lower your forehead onto the mat. Keeping those hips
over your knees and feeling the length in the spine that this brings. One more breath here in this puppy dog pose. Taking note of how your spine feels in this pose. This is what you want to create in downward dog. You want to have that same feeling of length in the spine. As we draw ourselves up. And let's make our way now into downward dog. So having the hands just a little bit in front of the shoulders, curling those toes. Push the hips back towards the heels as you make your way up into your dog. Just pedaling out those feet to bring that stretch and length into the legs. Gaze towards the belly button. And when you're ready, coming to stillness, finding that same feeling in the spine, that length you created in your puppy dog pose, seeing can you recreate that now in your downward dog. As we take 3 breaths here. And then let's walk the feet up to meet the hands, bend the knees, and come up to stand. Good. And from here, we're going to bring the feet together. So toes together, heels a little bit apart, so that your feet are kind of in a straight line. The outside of your feet is in a nice straight line. Equal weight on both feet as you stand up nice and tall here, feeling the full length of your body, making it as long as you possibly can. And then closing your eyes, zoning in on your jaw and letting go any tension there. And then moving that focus to your shoulders, letting go any tension there. Observing your arms, releasing any tension. And your legs, release the tension. The only place we want to have any kind of engagement and tension is in our core. On your next exhale, draw up that pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And from here, we're going to come into our chair pose. So we're bending our knees, but keeping them as much as possible over your ankles as you just lower the hips down towards the mat. Bring the hands into prayer, elbows opposite each other, and let's take a twist to the left. Bringing that right elbow against the left leg. Think about your chest, looking at your thumbs. As we take 2 more breaths here. And coming back through the center to take it to the other side. And once again, thinking about your chest, looking at your thumbs. And engaging that core. breath here. And turning the body back to the center, let the hands come down onto the mat. And let's step this right leg back as far back as it can go and heel toe that left foot a little bit across. So our feet are about hip width apart, maybe further. And you are maximizing the length, the distance between each foot. And let's come up onto our fingertips for a nice runner's pose. Feeling the length of the body from the heel all the way up to the crown of your head. Pushing back out through your heel, keeping this left knee over the ankle. Taking 3 more breaths here. And then keeping the legs as they are, just draw the arms out into a T. Hovering over this leg if you can. We don't really want to be leaning on it. Try to hover. You'll really feel the strength that front leg has to take. Two more breaths here. Let the core help you. And bring the hands down, just stepping up so that we start to bring weight into this left leg. We're going to raise the right leg up, toes pointing down, and bring the arms out into that T once again. Let the gaze look towards the floor. Find your balance. One more breath. And bring the hands down onto the floor once again, stretching that right leg back. This time, bring the knee down onto the floor and open out the foot. Heel toe this left foot out to the edge of the mat as we make our way down into our lizard pose. So you're going to come down onto one or both forearms if you can. And once in this position, you can either stay here or you can raise up that right leg, the right knee. Two more breaths here. Lowering the knee down. We're going to bring it into a bind if you can. So again, just work with your body. Thread your left arm through the left leg and bring the right arm up behind. Holding hands if you can. Staying like this, or if you like, raising that right knee up. We'll just stay here for 2 breaths. And release the hands, bringing them down. Let that right leg come down. Now we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So if you're able to just bring the left leg across and lower it down, do. If you need to come into it in a different way, you can always come from a tabletop and draw the knee up through between the hands. Let that back leg come back and lower yourself down onto the mat. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. letting go all points of tension. And then making your way up to all fours, push back into a child's pose and take a break before we do the other side. And again, in your child's pose, letting go any points of tension. Blow them away with your breath. Taking one more breath here. And then making your way up to your tabletop. Step that the right leg up this time. So again, we want the knee over the ankle, so get that sorted first of all. And then let's curl those back toes coming up onto the toes of the back foot as we come into our runner's lunge. Pushing out through the heel of the left foot to really stretch out that leg. Two more breaths. And then let's lift into our airplane, hovering over this thigh. Two more breaths here. Let the hands come down. As you hop that back foot forward, remember we're going to come onto this right leg, so shifting the weight into the right leg. As you raise that left leg up, let the toes point down. Bring the arms into a T. Gaze on the floor. Two more breaths here. And letting that left leg come down as you bring the hands down and heel toe that right foot across to the side, the right side of the mat. Let the knee come down onto the mat as you lower yourself down onto your forearms. It's okay if this foot comes up a little bit like this, that's fine, or if the knee comes out, that's fine. So whatever works for you in that regard is absolutely fine. Curling those left toes, raising the knee, if that works for you. Two more breaths here. Then lowering that knee, finding your bind if you can. So drawing that right arm underneath the leg and draw the left hand across. Raise the knee if you can, just two breaths here. Release the bind, bring the hands down. Lower the knee as we make our way into pigeon. So you might want to just heel toe this right foot across to the left side of the mat. And then let the leg come down. Stretching that left leg out a little bit further behind you as you lower yourself down onto the mat, forehead on the mat. Letting go all tension, feeling yourself just drape around this pose. Three more breaths here. And then making your way into your child's pose, where you totally let go, release into this resting pose. And when you're ready, making your way up into tabletop and going from here through to your downward dog. Again, take a few little pedals here to just work your way into it once again. And then walking those feet up to meet the hands, bend the knees, coming up to stand as we take a sun salute on each side. So remember, standing with the feet hip width apart, feet pointing straight in front of you, equal weight in both feet. Finding that length, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Raising the arms up, palms together, raise the gaze, take a breath. Coming through to your forward fold, bend the knees as you need to. And coming to your halfway lift, being conscious of your spine, finding length and straightness. And through to your forward fold again. Let's step that right leg back to come into your low lunge. Softening the shoulders here, letting go the jaw. And then coming through to your plank. Let's take 3 breaths here, really letting that core help you. And coming down on your knees and feet, chest and belly, and drawing the forehead and chest away from the mat. Pushing on up through a cobra and into your downward dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Stretching that right leg out behind you, stepping it through to come into your low lunge for a breath. And into your forward fold. Bend the knees, coming all the way up to stand, palms together, raise the gaze. And once again, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And through to your low lunge, left leg back. Taking the flow now into your plank for 3 breaths. And coming down on the knees and feet, chest and belly, drawing the upper body away from the mat, pushing on up into your back bend. And from here through to your downward dog for 3 breaths. And stretching that left leg out behind you, stepping it through for a low lunge here. And stepping up to your forward fold. Bending the knees, coming all the way up to stand, bringing those hands into prayer, checking in with the feet, that they're still hip width apart and pointing forward. Bringing the arms out into a T at shoulder level. Let's hinge at the hips to just come halfway for 2 breaths. And coming on down into a forward fold for 2 breaths. And lowering down onto your mat, swinging around to come to your final resting pose of Shavasana. Having the palms facing the ceiling, let the feet flop out to the side. I hope you have enjoyed that part of the practice, that you're feeling very well stretched after it. I know I am. And now it is time to reap the reward. Relax and let go. Letting go your toes and the soles of your feet. Letting go the tops of your feet, your heels and ankles. Letting go your calves and your shins, your knees, front and back. Letting go your thighs, front and back. letting go your glutes and your pelvis, the length of your back and your shoulder blades. Letting go the front of your body, your chest, your shoulders. Letting go your armpits, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists. Letting go the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands, and your fingers. Letting go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips, and tongue. The whole of your body, just let it go. The whole of your body, let it go. And taking some time for gratitude. Gratitude to yourself. Gratitude to your body. And gratitude for everything that's working in your life today. And let your attention go to your breath. As you inhale through your nose, into your belly, pause, and then exhale. And with each breath, just feeling yourself connecting with your inner self. And imagine you're walking through a forest. Notice the smells, the sounds, the textures of the forest. Find a tree here that you admire. Find a place to sit against the tree. Feeling that connection with the tree, that connection with nature. And spend a little time here at peace.